What's going on, guys? Thanks for checking back in. Hey, just want to talk today for a couple minutes about Capos and some considerations that may help you out someday when it comes to Capos. So first, if you haven't yet, if you want to like and subscribe and all that good stuff, that's cool. Throw out some comments on some things that you might want to see. Live sound related, especially towards acoustic duos and solos and stuff like that. So Capos. I remember way back in the day watching Julie Mackey play her Takamine EF341 FC with the Willow Creek Band up at Lucille's up in Canton, Michigan. This was probably back in the 90s, man. She always used that silver capo that I remember, silver Kyser. Matter of fact, she gave me her capo one day, and I can't remember if this is it or not, but I've always just used Kysers. Got a handful of them, just a couple here today. But a couple things I want to point out that may help you out someday. So if you kind of live and die on the neck of your guitar with the capo, like I do, I'll tell you a couple things that happen. I don't know if this is the specific one that she gave me. I see this as an older design here. If you can see, it's just got kind of a hole right here, and the part that attaches to the back of your guitar neck doesn't come really close here, to where a newer design, it just kind of got this kind of looped around right here, and then the part that goes to the back of your neck comes a lot closer to the part that hits your fretboard. So maybe this is due to this being worn out a little bit, I'm not sure. But a couple things. First thing, these can break, which I found out. If this is the one I'm thinking of that was well used during the 90s, I can tell you that's probably a good service life right there. I have no complaints about that, even if I had purchased this one brand new. But I was keeping the one at home for practice. And the top part here, this rubber piece that hits your strings, I probably glued it back on, if this is the one. Because this was a couple years ago, maybe even 3 or 4 years ago. This finally just kind of came off. It just worn out. Things happen, right? But the biggest thing that happened, I grabbed it and I was going to clip it on one day, and the spring mechanism broke. Now, I don't know if I fixed this and this is the one or not. But it occurred to me, at that time, I tried to be redundant with all our gear. And it occurred to me that, oh crud, this is another thing that can break. So I always made sure that I started carrying a spare capo. Depending on which guitar case I take, I usually got a couple of spare. I usually have like 2 capos. Somewhat recently, I've had 2 capos right in the case, and then also just a third one in one of my gear bags, so that if I were to forget the ones in the case like an idiot, there's always one in the gear bag that I can grab. But I like having extras once I realize that, okay, well, this is another item that may break on you and mess up the show. So just always keep in mind, just like anything else, something can break, something can go down. That's why I like redundancy in our gear, and why I've made certain choices that I made for us, and been successful so far with that, so I plan to keep it that way. So keep in mind these can break. Also, the second thing is just carrying a spare. And the reason I say carry a spare is because, like I probably said before, I'm just a rhythm guitar player. So I can't, when it comes to bar chords, I don't play them that cleanly. I've worked on it, but I don't play them that cleanly. So a lot of times, like whether it's Aaron's song or my song or something, it's beneficial. Let's say I need to play something in E, and maybe it's just a E, A, and B. I can't do that, and I'm not talking about the B7, which is fine, but the B, to bar that B, I can't play that good and clean and get a nice clean strum out of that like I can other chords. So maybe I'll throw a capo on 2nd fret and then play in D and just hit D, A, G to play in that key of B. So I don't do that stuff on purpose. I do that stuff just out of necessity, really. But if it's a song, we're an artist, we do mostly country stuff, classic country, and some classic rock. But usually with the country artists, if it's one that they've played, we can do it in the same key, and it's capoed anyways. That's just where we're gonna usually start with it. So we change up. We do what's best for us. That's why we say do what's best for you. So, but yeah, keep in mind these babies can break. As I seen, I'm glad it happened. because I really never thought about these breaking, but it happened at home, so I'm fortunate there. And I like redundancy, like I just said a second ago, and I like having something goes down, or I forget something, or whatever the case is. I need to know that we can get through the gig, be able to do a good job, and get through. Because if you're not doing a good job, there's a chance you're not going to get hired back. There's a chance you may not pick up other gigs on the back end from people that watch you and come up and say, hey, you got a card or something? We'd like you to do this or do that at our house. Or some other a hall or something like that where they're having a special event. And maybe I'll do, I'm sure I'll get to someday like doing a video or something like on the gear that we carry for like our normal bar gigs and the things that I do or that we do when it's special event stuff. So we kind of got those two categories, and but maybe I'll do something on that. So again, they can break, keep that in mind, and if you ever forget one, it's good to have a spare. In case you do forget it, it's good to have a spare in a different part of your gear bag, or your whole rig, that you take out with you to your shows anyway. So, any questions? Let me know. Always do what's right for you, like I said. Do good shows and be good. We'll catch you next time. See ya.